Well, hello everyone and welcome. Please come in. My name is Ava, and I'm here to share with you a little of the knowledge that I've gained about a new system of digital money called Bitcoin. I've spent my entire life, and I'm 69 years old, only interested in subjects that were metaphysical in nature or spiritual or health oriented. But recently, just in this year, I've discovered Bitcoin. And I announced last month to you that I think you should look into it and invest in it ultimately, not only to increase your own wealth, but to help redistribute the wealth of the world more fairly. And so what I did was I announced it to you and encouraged you to, but what I got in response was bewilderment for the most part. It is a very complex subject. I thought about it, and I wrote a little essay, and I'd like to share that with you to help you maybe on your journey to investing in Bitcoin, to make it a little bit more interesting for you or understandable. So I'll read you the essay I wrote, and I'll illustrate it with photos and GIFs so that you don't get bored. So let's begin. I call this playfully, "The devil made you do it." Don't sell your soul. Buy back your liberty. Buy Bitcoin. Why you should invest in Bitcoin from a spiritual perspective. To illustrate my current perspective on the subject of money, Bitcoin, and freedom, I would like to bring your attention to one of the most famous plays in Western history, which was written by German writer Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Goethe lived between 1749 and 1832. In his two-part drama, Faust, which is considered one of the greatest works of German literature, the story goes that a young scholar named Faust enters into a pact with the devil, Mephistopheles, in return for Mephistopheles' services to help him realize all his worldly ambitions. Faust wagers the devil his soul. Within the play, Faust then encounters many tests that pit his ambitions against the repercussions of any unbridled greed. This then demonstrates to Faust how greed can hurt not only himself, but others. You see, ultimately, why I'm referencing this incredible work of literature in a discussion about Bitcoin is because this play makes a surprising excursion into economics. Faust attends the court of a ruler, an emperor, whose empire is facing a financial ruin because of profligate government spending, reckless, wasteful government spending of the nation's resources. Mephistopheles, rather than urging the emperor to be more fiscally prudent and responsible, first disguises himself as a court jester, and then suggests a clever solution to the emperor's financial problems, a solution that has disturbing parallels to our modern age. Noting that the empire's currency was gold, Mephistopheles argued that there was a much more plentiful resource of gold still in the earth that belonged to the emperor. And the emperor had only to issue promissory notes, fiat money, for the value of this yet to be found gold. This then magically solved the emperor's immediate debt problems. The emperor took the bait and proceeded to deluge his empire with paper money. Now, with so much money flooding the empire, the emperor and his court became very extravagant, building bigger and bigger castles, bigger ships, bigger weapons, waging bigger wars, until one day his empire totally collapsed under the weight of the tons and tons of valueless promissory notes, which were unbacked by any tangible assets or real human production. Long-term monetary stability was sacrificed for short-term gains. When Goethe wrote Faust in 1832, modern economics was then only emerging from its infancy, helped along by Newton, who then managed to tie fiat money to gold. Newton created a period of sustained economic growth and stability. Yet, Goethe's insight goes to the very heart of the most intractable and insidious long-term modern economic problem, most notably the one that was initiated by President Nixon in 1971, when he decoupled fiat money from gold. Now the world is awash with valueless paper currency, which is totally unfettered to any tangible assets or real productive value. Most world currencies had previously been based on physical commodities, particularly gold, while fiat, paper money, is now primarily based on faith. And such faith can easily be shaken, as many countries around the world have seen their own currencies dwindle away to zero value. Even if governments would all agree to go back onto the gold standard today, they wouldn't be able to, because as Nixon himself experienced in 1971, the reason that he decoupled gold from fiat was simply that there wasn't enough gold in the treasuries, in the vaults, to keep up with his spending on wars and dubious, wasteful projects. So this all brings us to our current situation, 50 years hence, as we watch the world teetering on the edge of financial ruin again, due primarily to all the world's emperors and courts and their wanton greed and fiscal irresponsibility. But out of this dark reality, in 2009, emerged a bright, mysterious light, a star by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, who came with a brilliant solution to the world's financial crisis. And this just after the disastrous 2008 financial meltdown. Satoshi Nakamoto announced the first release of a new electronic cash system that uses peer-to-peer network to prevent double spending, a system of digital currency that is totally decentralized. So there's no head, no emperor, no court, no central authority. A new electronic currency that has more of those essential attributes that make for a perfect currency, more perfect than even gold. There are 5 attributes to a perfect currency. They are divisibility, portability, recognizability, scarcity, and durability. And what's so interesting is that Bitcoin is even more scarce, more rare than gold, because there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin ever produced in the world. It is finite and therefore extraordinarily rare. It is distributed to network nodes, which make blocks or ledgers onto which every transaction ever made is permanently recorded. This makes all transactions transparent and durable, but private, never revealing the identity of the owners of the Bitcoin. As then Bitcoin becomes the dominant payment system throughout the world, its value will equal the value of the total value of all the wealth of the world. And current estimates of the total worldwide household wealth range from 100 trillion to 300 trillion. So you see, even at the current price of, today it was around 50,000 per Bitcoin, Bitcoin is still highly undervalued. If we get anywhere near worldwide adoption, then each Bitcoin will be worth not 50,000, but $1 billion. So if you invest now, you can imagine how well you'll do when that full adoption takes place. So if you would permit me now to help you, to start you on your journey, to help you buy Bitcoin And Bitcoin is really the only one I would recommend, the only one that has the security and the potential to grow not only your wealth but the world's wealth, is Bitcoin. To buy your Bitcoin, I would recommend a trading platform called Voyager. It's an excellent tool to purchase your Bitcoin. If you decide to join Voyager, you can use my code ILDI96, which will give you $25 of free Bitcoin. Happy trading. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. Namaste.